happen to the hundreds of migrant children separated from their parents after President Trump said that he had ordered government agencies to reunite families.
It comes after the First Lady Melania Trump caused controversy last night, a surprise visit to a centre where some of the children were being looked after. But she was wearing a coat emblazoned with the words, "I don't really care, do you?" And that seems to be the thing that's getting all the picture headlines all over the world now, is the confusion about what did she mean by that. Well, joining us now is the US immigration lawyer, Christy Jackson. Thanks so much for coming in. What an extraordinary week it's been, hasn't it, on the border, and then the politics that's...
It's hard to keep up.
Yeah, what do you make of it? And particularly the fact that the president's sort of U-turned, effectively.
Well, I think you want to be careful because, like most of the U-turns that we see, it's riddled with holes. So this executive order that he's put out, it has problems. It says that it wants to reunite the families, but it doesn't address the fact that there's already legal policy and precedent that says they can't keep children for more than 20 days. So we have a problem we already see there. And they also use some very vague language in the executive order. What I think is interesting, and what I think you're going to start seeing here in the press shortly, is that Customs and Border Protection officials, which man the borders, are saying that they are stopping this policy implemented by the administration, that is not law, of the zero tolerance. This idea that you have to arrest anyone entering the country. That's what's caused the problem. It's not the law. The Trump administration put in a zero tolerance policy in April to arrest everyone when they could do what had previously been done, the catch and release. Which would never lead to the separation of the families.
He was elected on a manifesto of tackling immigration, and there are millions of Americans who voted for him to do exactly that. He would say he was doing what the public wanted.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the rhetoric. That's what he wants us to think. I do think, though, it's pretty telling. There were two bills that were coming up last night in Congress, and one of them, which was a very conservative bill, didn't pass, and it didn't have the support of even all of the Republicans. 41 Republicans voted against it. So I think it says that while immigration is an important focus, and I do think that the conservatives in the U.S. want something to be done, they don't want it to be done at the expense of children and human rights, just basic civil liberties.
Okay, so what happens now, today? In terms of, because there are families which have been divided and very, very distressed children. That's what we mustn't really forget. And that is what no one's forgetting in the United States, and Trump is feeling that pressure.
Well, one of the problems is this executive order that came out that purportedly solved the problem didn't address what to do with the over 2,000 children who have been separated. Some of their parents have already been deported. The children are here, or in the U.S., and their parents are back in their home countries because they were deported, and so there is no plan. I don't know what their plan is. I don't know that they know what their plan is. I've heard that they insist there is a plan. So I think it got to be a priority, is reuniting these kids, and and I think what a lot of people are failing to see is the fact that the reason that these people have been arrested for illegally entering the U.S. is because they turned up at a border, said they wanted to seek asylum, which is their right under federal and international law, and they were told, not today.
Didn't they say also that families which have been divided, they're not going to retrospectively look back at those and try to fix that?
Well, they have to somehow get them back together. They can't indefinitely separate parents from their children. So I think they do have, they say that they have a plan. No one has said what exactly that plan is. So I do think they intend or would like to reunite the children. But
how effective do you think Melania Trump's involvement in this has been?
Well, it's interesting. So the news story came out last night about this coat, and who knows what her message was.
So this is a coat that she was wearing last night on a visit to a children's detention centre. That's it, the green jacket. And on the back, in kind of graffiti-style writing, in big letters, it says, "I don't care, do you?"
You can only hope that neither she nor her stylists are so unaware of what's going on that that couldn't have been an accident. So the question is...
Do you believe that?
Well, I don't think it was an accident, but I don't know that it was directed at the crisis at the border.
But
I
bearing
think
in
it's
mind,
possible it was directed at her husband.
she was going on a visit to the border, a very high-profile, supposedly as somebody who'd appreciated the situation these kids were in. It sends out a very odd message,
You would
doesn't it?
have thought she was wearing something with bright colors and fun, kid-friendly, attributes. It was really disappointing.
What I think is interesting is the White House initially said it didn't mean anything, it was just a piece of clothing. But then Donald Trump said it was a message. It was a message to the fake mainstream media. So it's kind of,
which makes no sense at all. I don't understand why that message has anything to do with the fake media, but I agree. I think they haven't got their story straight. It wouldn't be surprised if she intended to wear that, but directed it at him.
jacket off, interestingly enough, in those pictures there.
Oh, and don't forget that it was over 80 degrees Fahrenheit when she left DC, and over 95 degrees Fahrenheit in South Texas. There was really no reason for a coat.
Who'd have thought in the crisis and the policy and the politics of what's going on in the American border that we'd be focusing on a coat? But I guess when it's the message that big, in that situation, it becomes part of the story, doesn't it?
It's a shame.
Thank you, Christine.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you.